each other grow in business and life. That's right, that's right. No need to panic anymore. We got lots of support and an army of warriors by our side. We fight the good fight when we unite. We fight the good fight when we unite. 'Cause that's what a tribe does. We got your back so you can relax and focus on all the important stuff, like getting your business done. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We look out for each other. That's right, that's right. This is our tribe. We help each other grow in business and life. That's right. This is our tribe.
Right, hello beautiful humans. It is so good to be here with you again today. I am Nestene.
And that would make me Peter.
And we are the co-founders of Explore ProTech Entrepreneurial Haven. You are watching the coffee shop show for entrepreneurs. Every single Monday we get together and we connect the most fun, authentic entrepreneurs in the world. We give you a 1 hour space just to connect and chat and share your experience. It's like we go into a coffee shop show with our best friends in the entire world, except they all just happen to be entrepreneurs and they happen to be talking about entrepreneurial stuff. So glad to be here with you guys again today. We have some new friends with us. We have some existing friends with us that have been here from the get-go. We're looking forward to having a fantastic conversation. Just before we get into the conversation, guys, please remember at Explore ProTech, what we do is we are looking for the 500 most fun, authentic, caring, teachable, supportive entrepreneurs in the world, because we want to help each other get onto the Forbes 500 list. That is what we're about. That's what we're looking for. So if you are looking to get into this community, you have got to have a chat with me and Peter. If you're thinking I'm one of the most fun, authentic, caring people in the world and I love entrepreneurship, need to get in on this, then the people that you got to talk to is me and Peter. Our booking link is in the description below. Other than that, we are getting into our conversation today.
Also, if you're in the audience, do yourselves a favor. As people are talking, and you can relate to a particular person, their links will be in the description. So you can reach out. It literally is as easy as going, oh, I really want to talk to that person. I really need to talk to that person. Where's their link? In the description. Click on the link. Hey, can I have a cup of coffee? I saw you on the Coffee Shop Conversation show. It's that simple.
That simple. We have done the legwork for you. You are welcome. Okay, guys, so today's topic that we want to talk about, that I'm so keen to hear what everyone has to say about this, setting up for success in 2023. As entrepreneurs, I don't know if you guys relate to this, but I'm pretty sure you do. This is how I'm feeling right now, right? And I feel this every single time at the beginning of the year. I'm like, what are all the other entrepreneurs doing? Like, what are they doing that I maybe should be doing that I don't know about, but I should be doing it? Otherwise, I'm not going to be successful this year. Like, what are you guys doing? That is what we're here to get the down low on today. So I'm going to just remind you what our panel is going to do right now is they're going to put up their hands like so when they're keen to get involved in the conversation. And by doing that, that cues them on the top of our screen so we can then pull them into the conversation from there. Every time they contribute, they will give their answer and then they'll end with their name, their business name, and a little bit about what they do so that you can get to know them. So, panel, Not to put you on the spot or anything, but you guys have just been called the most fun, authentic, caring entrepreneurs in the world. So what are you guys doing to set up for success in 2023? What is it that we should be looking at, that we should be doing, that is a good thing to do right now at the beginning of a new year? Anybody want to jump in here?
I'm itching.
Yay! Yay! We have one taker. Woohoo! Rita, what should we be doing at the beginning of the year?
Nestene, yeah, I think it's a very good question to ask. What should we do? And I was asking basically that same question to myself, and then I was wondering, and I did a little bit of work on this. Have I defined my own potential? Have I done that? And let me just say, when I say this, then I'm really looking from the perspective from my own coaching business. Okay, so if I have to answer this, I would ask the question: have you defined your potential? So how do I do that? And I think the first question that we need to ask is, how healthy is my body? Do I have a healthy body? Would my body be able to carry me through this year? And that's crucial. I think the other thing that's crucial is, in this whole process, do I have the ability to disconnect my mind? In other words, do I have the ability to step out of the noise that are out there? I think the other thing that could be helpful is, can I make time for coaching? And sometimes we don't know what the benefits would be. So, and here's a whole bunch of coaches sitting here. So have a conversation with those guys and see what they can help you with. Can I connect to my own creativity? And we all are creative. Can I connect to that? The other thing is, can I start meditating? Because meditating does have the ability to basically disconnect your mind, so that you can get rid of that extra noise that's in your mind. Have you defined your goals? And here I just want to, it's extremely important that we define our goals, but it is also important that we need to understand that success is not reaching the goal. It is the journey in between that makes us successful. Yes, it's going to take a lot of effort. That's for sure. It's not going to fall into our laps. And then at the end, do I reward myself for milestones that I've reached? And I think that's also very crucial, that I do reward myself for milestones that I've reached. So from my side, Rita Schoeman, your coach with heart, that is what I would like to say.
That is so helpful, Rita. I absolutely adore that. That's like such a cool little, short little, impactful little checklist.
Well, I mean, if we think about it, a lot of what was mentioned now is exactly what we've had to do. We've had to take a step back. We've had to take a look at where we're at. We have to take a look at where we're going. We have to separate ourselves from the space and look at it objectively. What can we change in order to get to where we're going? And unless you're being objective, you can't make those decisions. So, and if you battle to think about things objectively, well, then surround yourself with people that have the ability to do that. I think that is extremely powerful.
And I loved everything that you mentioned, the meditation, the getting back in touch with creativity, looking after your body, how are you going to do that? And then also the goal setting. I think I also need to constantly be reminded that the goal is not the success. It's the journey there. I tend to just like psych myself out along the way because I'm so freaking focused on the goal. But the truth is, if you focus on the process, you're going to get there quicker, probably, right? Do I have it right, Rita?
Yes, you probably will get there quicker, because we all know that the process are full of curveballs. It's not a straight line. And the question is just, are we able to ride out those curveballs that are there? And that sometimes it's very difficult, but that is also the fun part of it. That's where we learn. That's life. That's where we learn.
100%.
I love that. Thank you, Rita. That's such an uplifting way to open this conversation. Very, very thankful for that contribution. Sondra, keep the ball rolling. What are you doing to set up for success in 2023? What should we be doing?
Well, I agree with 1,000% with Miss Rita, of course. Definitely all those things. I think two other things I want to add to that, definitely adding, not taking away, but well, three things actually. Watch for your definition of success, not everybody else's definition of success, and your definition will change. I know mine changed in seasons. Definitely my definition of success last January versus this January are super different. So, and that's fine. You know, I do a talk on that. And when I did the slides, it was like my success in my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, entrepreneur life, all that. So definitely look at your definition of success and don't compare to anybody else's, because we all have different reasons for what we want. So that would be one of them. Two would be is to take time and review. So review, what did you learn last year? What were your wins? What were your lessons? And how can I apply them to be more successful this year? Definitely lessons will keep getting repeated until you apply them. And I'm guilty speaking to myself as I say that, but definitely apply those lessons. And then, yes, the goals are important, but yes, that process on how you're going to get there. So those bite-sized action pieces are super important. And I've been talking to a lot of people lately. Learn how to delegate. Like, you are not alone in this journey. That is one of the reasons, you know, I'm in this community, is because we are not alone and nobody should be alone. So I have hired my first VA to work with in my business. So it has been a very interesting journey to be on that side of it versus being a VA. So, so yeah, see what you can do. It's a barter, y'all. I'm not paying money. It's a barter. So, very big on barters. Anybody knows me, I preach that it does not have to cost you an arm and leg to have people on your team supporting you. Just get creative and think outside the box. So yeah, I'm super excited for where this year is going to go and build on the lessons I learned last year. Sondra, your goal accountability coach. Thank you, Nestene.
Sondra, you are amazing. Oh, what lovely follow-up. That was so cool. I think every single person that's on the show right now or watching the replay needs to ask themselves, is this going to be the year where I embrace delegation and teamwork?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah.
And then you need to focus on not running the other way. But I think, Sondra, that is amazing. And I think, just kudos to you, because I know you're one of those, like, I think all entrepreneurs are those people where it's like, you kind of want things perfect because you have your way, you know what works, you figured stuff out, you've been through a lot, like it took you a lot to get here. So people should just do things your way. And that sometimes makes it very difficult to work in a team, like very difficult. Like Mr. Levy,
He would know.
he knows it is especially difficult for me. But I think that's why it's so important. And I want to commend you for the way that you're starting out this year. And like, that actually inspires me to think like, wow, if someone like Sondra can do that, then maybe, just maybe, I can do it too. I don't know, guys. You have to keep watching. I'll report next January. How did it go? But lovely stuff. Thank you so much, Sondra. Quick reminder, everyone watching right now or watching the replay, all these people's beautiful LinkedIn links, we're going to be linking that in the description and in the timestamps so you can connect with them. So if you see someone that you really resonate with, you can literally just go and say, hi, saw you on the show. Can we have a coffee? And these gorgeous people will probably say yes, because they're our friends and they love us. And that's why they love you, because you're our friend too. How was that?
That was soppy.
I should stop
I'm sorry.
that.
That was
I'm sorry. I'll stop that now. Okay, let's just move on to Brian. Brian, who even are you? Guys, like we've been like, Brian has been here for the longest time, but he kind of disappeared, but now he's like super back. So Brian, what are you doing to set up for success in 2023?
Yeah, it's just the context is like priceless. Me being here right now, because the last several months has been a huge part of all of us right now. Like several months ago, I was kind of just spinning my wheels, burning out, adrenal fatigue, the whole thing, and I couldn't execute on anything. I had multiple coaches in my kitchen, and I'm very blessed to have great people around me to support me and help me. But I just needed to take a massive step back. Being a holistic coach and Reiki master, I work with people online in an online group delivery to help people, clear the barriers and reduce the overwhelm, to know where to start to get things going. So what I had to do was check in on myself, audit my situation, and clear the clutter. I had a lot of really amazing things going on. We were working on a lot of different projects as well. And I was just like, I can't do all of this, right? And my main thing is suffering from it. So a lot of things went on pause, and it was hard because you're thinking financially too, right? You're thinking, what can I afford to do in the last 2 months of the year to get ready for 2023 in a big way? And I cleared a lot of my commitments that I was not really moving forward on. And it allowed me to focus in. And then all the right people started showing up, and all the right things started coming together. And then I was able to launch my new online program in January with about 4 or 5 people ready to go, and they're in the program now. So it's exciting. And what's interesting is I'm back here now. It's allowed me to come back, right? And with more life force, more creativity, more ability. I just banged out a couple of quick articles that I shared out on, to some online magazines through this network on burnout. So it's like a lot of things have starting to come back together. It's not like everything has to go away for good. It's just, for now, I'm just going to put this on a shelf and over here. And sometimes they just vaporize and you realize it really wasn't anything, right? So, but if I were to give anyone like that first step, if you're kind of where I was, where my health was breaking down, my mental health was breaking down, just take that step back. Just take that step back, clear the clutter, clear the commitments that are not helping you, and just trust the process and allow it to, when your energy comes back, you'll be able to start executing on the next plan. So I'm working out almost every day again, and everything's coming together. So that's me, Brian DeCastro, domestic athlete, helping you align your health and lifestyle goals with your ultimate mission. I'm complete.
Stunning.
Yeah,
Brian, it is so good to have you back.
For
Happy
me
to be
personally,
here. Happy to be back.
for me personally, I like to listen to people that can actually live what they preach. And for somebody to be a burnout coach and to go, hey, hold on a second, I need to take a step back, and then walk a journey before then teaching others how to walk that journey, I think is priceless.
That's special.
I think that's because I will listen to people that have walked a journey, but I will not listen to people that have not walked a journey, yet they're trying to preach. And I think that's the difference. The one is a coach that is teaching, and the other is a person that is preaching. It's two different things. So to see you actually living it out, and then to see how things have changed because of it, for us, that's incredible. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, Brian, like we are as a tribe, I think literally everyone, because you have such strong relationships with everyone. Like we are so freaking proud of you and your progress. And I just want to testify, like when you say you are able to be completely overwhelmed, like that is true. At one point in time, I was getting these essays with just like thoughts and more thoughts and thoughts on top of thoughts.
Yeah.
And to see like the way like you actually like you went back and you cleared the clutter and you did the audit and you were like, okay, you know, one step at a time. Now this is the direction we're going into. I think it's time to clear the clutter. I think that's a fantastic way to start your year.
That is, I mean, that's exactly what we had decided to do in the process that we're busy doing at the moment.
I just also want to point out to you guys, there is like when they talk to you about clutter on all these like organizing shows, which I absolutely love to watch because I'm the most unorganized person in the entire world. Like they talk about guilty clutter, right? And that's like things that you keep in your house that really doesn't serve you. It doesn't add to your life.
I'll leave.
You serve me, don't worry.
Okay.
Where's my tea?
Okay.
Like that's like stuff that you keep in your house that doesn't serve you. It's just like you feel guilty. That's why you keep it. Like birthday presents that you really hate but don't want to return. That translates 100% into entrepreneurship. Like Brian, you can probably confirm this. Like we have projects that Peter has decluttered from our lives where I'm like, but I was so excited about this when it started and we still have to do it. And Peter was literally just like, not right now. It's not serving us. Let's shelve it. And you don't have to destroy it. You just shelve it.
Yeah.
And then we'll bring it back when the time is right.
It'll serve its purpose when the time is right.
Yeah,
So-
I found we had to have that heart to heart too when I was in that process. And part of what was draining me was that I didn't feel like I was showing up. Right? You just wake up every morning. There's another day went by. I didn't do that thing. Right? So we had that chat. You're part of that inner circle that I needed to talk with to share how I was feeling, but also I got the support from you guys as well, and the blessing to keep pushing forward, and that will always be still working on our stuff. It's just everything's got to happen in its right time, right?
100%.
Brilliant.
And it will happen in its right time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Epic. Thank you so much, Brian. Guys, someone that we haven't heard from in forever that I'm so happy to see back on the show. Permelia, hi. How are you doing? What are you doing in 2023?
Oh, well, first of all, I just have to say that, what Sondra said and definitely what Rita said and what Brian said around leaving space, because then what really is important is going to show up. That's, that's huge. That's really, really huge. So I just have a big announcement to make because I haven't made this announcement on this group before. On the 23rd of December, the website went live. Oh my gosh, that was like the best Christmas present ever. We are still, we, meaning me, I'm still updating and tweaking all of the practitioner information. And it's been a huge learning curve figuring out how to put modalities and the amount of time spent on that session and the amount of money that is going to be paid for that session, that all had to be still is being done in the back end. So, but we are live, so I'm very excited about that. We have some people actually going to the website and booking. So that's really awesome. So yeah, I had a little bit of a break between Christmas and New Year's. I just needed some downtime, and it's always good to have that. I think that's one of the best things we can do as entrepreneurs, is have that break. So I started my 2023 with a few things. Well, first of all, I made an intention. I don't set resolutions. I always set an intention. And I'm a Course in Miracles student, so this is my intention and my mantra for 2023. Miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. And our motto for the Healing Institute is service with love. So that's my intention for 2023. I also joined a mastermind class, and I'm just on performance and achievement. It's a 12-week course that I'm taking with a woman that I met on another networking platform. She's pretty amazing, and we talk the same language. So I really wanted to be focused on how I'm going forward in 2023. And I have to share with you this book, The Big Leap. Oops, it won't show up now because okay, maybe there. The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. I recommend this book if you haven't read it already. He talks about the zones. So we know we have zones of competence. We know there's things that we do that we're very competent in doing. That's great. And then the zone of excellence, which I always thought that was kind of the top zone. Well, guess what? It's not. So it's our zone of genius. And I know we've heard this terminology before, but that's the big leap. It's taking ourselves from our zone of excellence into our zone of genius. And the genius is really serving the world, serving however we show up in the world, and what we do, what our gifts are, and how we can as Nestene and Peter are doing with this tribe, how we can actually move things forward to make the world a better place. So yeah, I'm so excited for 2023. Both Rita and Sondra are on the platform, the Healing Institute. So Permelia Parham with the Healing Institute, we're a virtual global platform for holistic practitioners, and we will bring clients to you. We are an international wellness community. Thank you.
Nice.
Stunning. Thank you so much, Permelia. And I'm so excited about what's going on in your space right now. That is absolutely amazing.
I think I wandered into the genius zone and now I just can't find my way out.
Wow. So humble. That's what I love about you. Thank you for that recommendation. I am going to give that book a read for sure. I'm definitely going to go and check out your website. I'm so excited for you, Permelia. And I can hear a lot of learning and improving and starting new things also happening. So I think that's something fantastic to be doing to set yourself up for success in 2023. So thank you so much for sharing. Absolutely awesome to have you back. I hope we're going to see you in many of the shows going forward. Yay! Awesome! Cool. Gareth, let's hear from you. How do we set up for success in 2023? What are you doing?
Hi there. Well, first step, always be stocked on petrol for your generator. I kind of missed that step, but I highly advise it, as you can see. But 2023 planning, I pretty much do what I've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years. It's a bit of a routine now that gets a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller every year. And it's 2 concepts. Firstly, I replan and I set goals. I review my past goals from last year, have a look at my successes, particularly my failures, and I take on all those lessons. And then I have a look at all my businesses. I run 3 businesses, and we redo our business plans, adjust for market trends and the past failures from the previous year, reset our annual, quarterly, and monthly goals and budgets and figures, and most importantly, and something that I highly advise everyone do at the start of every year, is redefine my perfect weekly routine. I've yet to get it 100%, but like just sit down and think, if I had the perfect week this week, what would it be? And like sit down and define that. Like I go sit down and talk to angel investors, or I land 3 big clients, or whatever that perfect week looks like for you. Plan it out, and the more detail you can get down to hours, every 15 minutes, every half an hour, every 45, every hour, whatever you can manage. And I'll be forthright. I've only ever managed to achieve my perfect week. The best was, I think I got about 60% of my perfect week right. That's the highest I've ever done. So you're aiming for 100%, but just like having that perfect week in your mind and trying to work towards that on a weekly basis, I find that incredibly useful. So I sit down and I really plan out my perfect week. And then the last thing I do is something that has 3 approaches, but it's pretty much summed up as build muscle and drop fat. Everyone's got a lot of energy at the beginning of the year, and you want to make sure that you hold on to that for as long as possible. So I drop sugars and carbs from my diet. I work out weekly, do daily yoga, weekly hikes. I try getting a bit of swimming. I don't last the entire year at that rate, but I can get about 6 months through, and I find the longer that I keep with that routine, the easier my year is and the smoother it seems to go. But obviously, the more I get into the year, the more chaos it is, and a lot of this drops. And then, also psychologically, I think of 3 bad habits or negative hang-ups that were like really bothering me the previous year. I just try to eliminate that from my thinking and try to focus on developing 3 good habits for the year. Managed to really have good success by aiming for 3 good habits, and I managed to concretize 1 into my like permanent routine, which is always nice, something nice to achieve. So like it's about setting goals, but be realistic. Like if you don't like set them, you're not going to achieve them. But like if you don't have to hit that 100%, just like set them, see where you land, get to the next year. If you did 50% of your plan last year, do 51% of your plan this year, and just like keep improving like that, And then the last one's on relationships. This is always a bit controversial, especially if you land up in the 3 bad relationships. But I always go after 3 key core new relationships. I identify who they are, and I look at developing them and increasing my engagement with them. But then also very importantly, we rank order all the relationships in my life, and I take the bottom 3 and I say cheers. You need to build that muscle and drop that fat. But yeah, those are my tips for a good 2023.
I like that.
You could write a book, Gareth. Thank you.
We'll just all wait here while you start writing.
We'll just borrow
it's been developed over 5 years. I've had some time.
Before Peter launches into his thing, because I can see he's launching. Where are you? What is your business called again?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm CEO and founder of Navis. We do private equity, capital raising, and some property development, and then also plausible gaming. And we're building I suppose I can describe it as the future of online multiplayer gaming with a platform player. But hopefully I can tell you all more about that in 6 months or so.
Nice.
Epic.
Nice.
And thank you so much for joining us on the show again today. I want to know what your perfect week looks like so I can compare mine, because I'm competitive.
Sure, of you will get on really well.
I am loving this energy. It's just like self-development, building habits, and like all of this stuff that I like. If I try to talk to Peter about them, he's like,
Get over yourself.
I think he concentrates for the first 5 minutes and then it's like, whatever.
It's called selective hearing.
But I love this. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are into this, like, and what I'm hearing, like, from everyone at least, is being intentional, like intentionally setting what you want and how you're gonna get there. Like, everyone does that kind of in a different way, but we're all pretty much doing it.
Well, that's the nice thing, because everybody here is in a different space. They don't all do the same thing. And if most of them are coaches, they're not all coaching the same thing. So they're all in different spaces. So the beauty of it is that regardless of what space you're in, the basics of prepping your space for stepping into a new year, the basics are pretty much the same. Regardless of whether you are a coach or it doesn't matter what you do, the basics are the same, and those basics will remain the same.
Yeah, so you got to start setting goals. And then I need you to identify 3 bad habits and tell us what they are.
Setting goals means I've got to write.
And then you need to work out your daily routine, your weekly routine, and your monthly routine.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll write down my goals if you can read them.
It's a constant battle, guys. Gareth, just quickly tell us, what is in your perfect week? Like, I can't let this go. Like, I have to know. What is in your perfect week?
So most importantly, I find is the exercise, because without the exercise, you can't really do anything. So I put aside an hour a day for yoga, about half an hour a day for meditation, and then half an hour for high impact exercises like weightlifting and all that. Usually do the yoga at the end of the day, the weightlifting at the beginning of the day, and then the sort of 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock I found is usually the best time for new business, because everyone gets the office or starts working, wakes up 7, 8 o'clock, they've got a whole bunch of morning tasks to look after, and round about like 9 to 11, that's when people start thinking about new business for the new day. That's when you want to be calling people. That's when you want to be making new contacts. That's when you have the best quality attention from somebody. As the day gets on, everyone has like unexpected things happen throughout the day. Stuff bothers them. They get tired. Maybe they didn't sleep well, and now it's 3 o'clock and they're miserable. And if you like are introducing yourself at 4 o'clock after all that accrued misery, your chances just go throughout the door, out the window. So like 9 to 11 is my cold calling, new relationships. That's like new projects, because that's when like people actually listen to you. I find any time after 11 o'clock, and almost 50% of what I talk to people about gets forgotten. And then like it's lunch and maybe a walk outside just to sort of refresh, get that energy going after sitting down and dealing with stuff. And then it's my usual like writing work, because I do a lot of copywriting for the businesses. If I'm doing planning or business modeling, any sort of internal thinking where I have to sit down and concentrate, that's my sort of 1 to 4 p.m. slots. And then from 4 to 7 p.m. I'm catching up with my various teams, and I work with teams from New York to Australia. So like we find that 5 to 7 p.m. South African time is usually the best time for everyone to like, everyone's kind of up at a reasonable time to sort of catch up with everyone. And then it's dinner and R&R.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Very happy to hear that there's some R&R in there as well.
Gareth, our meeting must have been between 9 and 11, because we had a really cool conversation when we met for the first time.
It was.
So put me between that 9-11 slot.
Oh, you hate 9 to 11.
I know. It's because my days and my nights are switched around. So my 9 to 11 is actually at 9 o'clock at night to 11 o'clock at night.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Gareth. I just feel like the more we can share with each other what we are up to, like, it just makes me feel so like, okay.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I'm not the only one, but also other people seem to be doing pretty much the same thing I'm trying to do. So that can't be that wrong. Very, very cool. Love the 2 hours exercise in the day as well. So let's move on. Sascha, for the first time ever on the Coffee Shop Show. Woohoo! Hi! What are you doing to set up for success in 2023? What should we be doing?
Hi, really great to be here. Feel like a little bit like I was thrown in the deep end. Wasn't quite expecting to be talking or sharing on my first coffee chat. But for me this year, it's a fairly simple thing, but it's making time for my business. So I'm a virtual assistant, which means I focus most of my time on growing other people's businesses and walking alongside business owners to help them grow and that. And I've really found that I've been letting my own business slip. So it's really for me to be blocking out time in my diary every week where I'm looking at my marketing, I'm looking at my networking, looking at my own administration of my business. That also includes connecting with my business coach. Just really recentering and refocusing. And I suppose in a sense for me, it's adding my business into my diary as a client and treating myself as one of my own clients and focusing. Because I tend to kind of think that my business isn't quite as important and doesn't really need as much time I need to, and it almost feels like I'm taking time away from clients. But really, if I'm not working on my business, focusing on it, growing it, then eventually it's, I'm going to start losing clients. And so for me this year, it's really learning again to focus back on my business, and to put my time back into it, and to realize that time is important as the time that I give
I think we're having some
anybody
Wi-Fi.
else.
I think we're having some Wi-Fi issues. Are we back again?
Wait, Sascha, it looks like you're back.
Okay, it looks like you're back.
Sorry, yes, sorry. We also have load shedding, so it's not quite
Oh, yes. Okay.
stable as normal.
Okay, so then you're definitely from South Africa.
Yes.
So please continue. You were saying it's so important to make time to spend time on working on your own business, and so that's what you're really making time on, putting yourself in your calendar as a client.
Yeah. So for me this year, to grow my business, the way to do it for me is to refocus back on my own business and to prioritize it as much as I do my clients.
I love that. And that is Sascha from, what is your business name?
It's called Perfectly Assisted.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful. And you help clients with?
I am a virtual assistant and I offer support to service-based businesses.
Oh, nice.
Stunning. We have about 80 of those, so good luck.
Thank you.
I love what you said about focusing on your own business and making that like an actual standing appointment in your calendar. I'm obsessed with not doing things just because. Like, I have to know every single thing that I am doing is moving me actively towards my goal and my vision for my business. And I think that is what happens once we start prioritizing making that time to work on our businesses. Mm-hmm. So I'm so happy that you mentioned that. And it seems like you're really setting up for success in 2023. That's amazing. Anyone else want to jump in and still get in on the conversation? Please put up your hand.
Or your emoji hand.
Or leave
Mr.
forever.
Mr. Levy hand.
Mr. Levy, what are you doing? What should we be doing to set up for success in 2023?
Lay it on us.
Yeah, there's been so many good things said and profound things from everybody. And I think for me, for me, the two words that I stepped out of 2022 with and into 2023 was intentionally committed. Those are my two words for 2023. And I want to just touch on a little bit what Sascha said was, it's amazing when you do that. I'm talking about intentionally committed to what to what I do. And I understand the core of my business. And because I'm intentionally committed to me, it's also made me recognize which clients I want to work with. So, you know, I work with leaders, but I'm not just going to work with leaders. I'm going to work with leaders who are intentionally committed to growing the business, like to growing their people to grow their business. And if they're not intentionally committed, and I don't say that from an arrogant point of view, it's a huge responsibility. It takes a lot of work. And if you're not intentionally committed to it, then you're not going to achieve it or succeed as it. I think the other thing is you need to know, you know, there's a lot of talk about your why or your purpose, and how strong is it for you? And do you have one that really resonates that with you, that sits in your heart? And for me, it's not just, but it's not only about the why. So it's about how much do you really want it? Because that's what's going to take you over those unexpected challenges that we will face. That's a guarantee. And I think it's knowing your why and your purpose, how much you want it, and what guides you in that direction. We're all guided by our values. And our values are extremely powerful only if we live them. That's our personal values and our business values. Some of them will be the same, but not all of them. But we need to seriously live them, because if you're not going to live them, then rather stick them in the drawer, because they really count for nothing. So, and I'm talking to myself. So this is the stuff that I've made. This is what I'm going to focus on in 2023. And then when you know what your purpose is, do you understand what it takes to achieve those goals? And I think Rita or someone mentioned it earlier, it's about focusing on the process. So have the goal, but understand what does it take to reach the goal, and focus on that, not the goal itself. If you understand what it takes to reach it, and you actually align your behavior to that, the chances of you achieving that goal are highly increased. And I think a lot of people get fixated on when they have their goals, for example, for 2023. It only serves as a roadmap. It's not cast in stone. And if we don't achieve that goal, then we go, oh my God, and that's where we give up, because we put ourselves down because we haven't achieved it. And I'm going to say, if that came up for me from a client that I was working with last week and inspired my Monday post yesterday, we haven't achieved it yet. It doesn't mean we haven't achieved it. We just haven't achieved it in the time frame that we had put down and expected. So I think it's to make peace of that, because that roadmap serves as a guide. And I want to end off with saying that everybody's spoken about how we took time out at the end of the year to reflect on what happened in 2022. Why are we only doing it at the end of it? It shouldn't be an annual thing. We should do this monthly or bi-monthly or even quarterly. We should be constantly checking in and reflecting, and it was a common thread from everybody here. So that's another thing that I've put. I actually have it in my calendar. I'm doing it quarterly. And yeah, I reflect on everything, and I've actually set a day aside quarterly in my calendar. It's blocked off. It's done. And taking time out for ourselves without feeling guilty about it. 100%. Because it's the most productive time it will probably ever have. And I love what Sascha said. Sascha, make your appointment with your business and yourself should be the most important appointment on your calendar.
100%.
Yeah. And then I think just living what we coach. You know, it's like the mechanic. The guys, the car in the worst condition on the road is the mechanics. Okay. And it's also when we all do that. I tell people, you know, this is your core business, and look around it and learn to say no if it's going to negatively impact your business. But I need to ask the question, do I do that in my business? And that's my reflection. I'm reflecting now really seriously after every session, am I doing what I've spoken to my clients about? Because if I'm not living it, then it's pointless trying to get them to do it. And I won't intentionally get them to do it.
I like that.
So that's Stephen from Dare to Be, coaching and beyond. And I remembered that. So, wow, yeah. And thank you for this wonderful show.
Much. Thank you
And
so
excuse my
much.
screen. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know. I've seen it happen with a couple of people. I'm thinking it must be like a Zoom update or something. I don't
Yeah,
know
Sondra said it's probably an update. So thanks, Sondra. I will have a look at that after we finished and update my Zoom. And I will let you know.
Thank you, Sondra, and thank you, Mr. Levy. You literally reminded me of a song. You like because I'm one of those people right now. I feel like I know I shouldn't be feeling this, Brian. I know this, okay, but I still feel it. I'm like I should be so much further along, and then I'm like, really, Nestene, you want to be on the Forbes 500 list? You've been working towards it for 2 years. I'm like, yes, I need to be that good. I'm holding myself to that standard. That was the goal. Why am I not there? But you reminded me of that song right now. You're like that cheerleader that's just like, it's okay, you can do it, as long as you don't give up. It was, I so needed this. And then you reminded me of that song, you can have it if you really want it. I think we should all be like listening to that song. That's like, I just want to say thank you to you, Mr. Levy, and to every single entrepreneur that joined us on the show today. I just know everyone that watched got so much value from this, and I know I'm walking away from this feeling like we got this.
Well, something that really struck a chord with me was the intentionally. When I think that's very important. So if I look at what we are intentionally trying to do in our space this year, intentionally we are trying to surround ourselves with some of the best entrepreneurs around the world. Intentionally. Intentionally, we are trying to put those people together so that they can surround each other as a group of some of the best entrepreneurs from around the world. Those are the intentions. And the way that we get there, it becomes a whole lot more easy in achieving the things that we want to achieve when we have the support that we need. And sometimes support is not always financial. Support can be anything. Support can be access to a skill set. Support can be access to advice. Support can be
today was support.
Today was support. It could be I want to do a project, but I don't have all the necessary skill sets, but I have people around me that do. So those are our intentions for Explore ProTech for this year. We want to build this space. We want to grow this space. We want to, and not just with anyone. Not just anyone. Fun, authentic, caring entrepreneurs from around the world. Our facts.
Thank you so much, ladies and gents, for being here with us today. Thank you, everyone on the panel. You guys are just the most amazing friends to have ever. And I'm so proud of being your friend and of working this journey with you. And we are doing this. Like, just look at what all of you have been sharing. You are doing this. It is happening. We are doing this. This is awesome. I love you all so much. If you're watching on the YouTube or the Facebook, get in touch with these humans. They are the most fun, authentic, caring entrepreneurs in the world. All you have to say is, saw you on the coffee shop show. Can we please grab a coffee? And you're in. You're welcome. We did the legwork for you. So go ahead and do that. Also, like, subscribe, press the notification button, leave a comment.
Share.
Whatever you need to do in order to spread this, because we need to get this to all the entrepreneurs out there around the world that need this. Remember to join us every single week, once a week, for this hour where you can get inspiration, support, encouragement, connections. Just chat with us. Let's share and let's move forward together. We absolutely adore you. We're looking for our 500 most fun, authentic, caring entrepreneurs, because we're crazy enough to think that we're going to work together to get onto the Forbes 500 list. So if you're one of those, get in touch with me and Peter. Booking link in the description below, and we'll bring you along on the journey. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and we'll see you again next week. Same place, same time. May all your wildest entrepreneurial dreams come true. Bye.
Cheers for now.